Good evening. This 95th meeting of the 72nd term of the Baltimore City Council is now called to order. Council members, we continue to meet virtually, so as always, I will call on you, and then you may be able to state your name and begin talking. In lieu of an invocation tonight, we will have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Roll call. The clerk will now call the roll of the members.
Cohen. McCray.
Present.
McCray.
Present.
Dorsey. Henry. Schleifer. Middleton. Pinkett. Burnett.
Present.
Present. Rosinger.
Present.
Costello.
Present.
Stokes. Sneed. Clark.
Sneed is present.
Got it. Mr. President, we have a quorum.
We will now proceed with the adoption of the journal.
Mr. President, the journal of the November 2nd, 2020 proceedings are on the council member's desk.
Thank you. Without objection, the journal will be adopted. The journal is adopted. Bills signed by the mayor can be found on page 3 of the agenda. Bills vetoed by the mayor can be found in the appendix of the agenda. Resolutions to be introduced.
City Council Resolution 20-0255R, Corrective Resolution 20-0233R, for the purpose of approving a correction to Resolution 20-0233R, passed by the City Council on August 17, 2020, to reflect the correct name of the relevant business entity. Sponsors, Pinkett.
Chair recognizes Councilman Pinkett.
As was said, this resolution is to correct Resolution 20-0233R, which was approved or adopted by the Council on August the 17th, 2020. There was an error in the doing business as name in the resolution that needs to be corrected in order for this establishment to change their liquor license from the BD7 to A7, which was supported by the community, in order for the liquor board to change the license. And so this resolution is just a corrective to correct that name. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Pinkett. You want to move to suspend the rules for immediate adoption?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for immediate adoption.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott.
Yes.
Cohen. Councilman Cohen. Okay. McCray. Dorsey. Henry.
Yes.
Schleifer.
In here, which one was this?
This is 20-0255R, the corrective resolution.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Middleton. Pinkett. Burnett. Bullock. Rosinger.
Yes.
Costello. Stokes. Sneed.
Yes.
Clark.
Internet malfunction, Cohen is yes.
And please note that Councilwoman Clark, as of right now, is absent. The motion is approved. This resolution has been adopted.
City Council Resolution 20-0256R, 2020 Transgender Day of Remembrance, for the purpose of recognizing November 20th, 2020 as Transgender Day of Remembrance and mourning the loss of our transgender siblings. Sponsors, President Scott.
Please add Councilman Reisinger as a co-sponsor, Councilman Pinkett, Councilman Stokes as a co-sponsor, Councilman Cohen, Councilwoman Clark as a co-sponsor. All right, thank you. Thank you to all my co-sponsors and my colleagues. With this resolution, we will recognize November 2020 as a day to commemorate and mourn the loss of transgender Baltimoreans. Over the last 8 years, at least one transgender person has been murdered in Baltimore City per year, including 2 transgender women in our city that have been murdered this year. Too many in Baltimore's transgender community suffer from stigma and transphobia, which far too often results in violence. We cannot allow violence against our trans community to be normalized. While we remember those transgender individuals who have lost their lives, we know it's not enough to just mourn and remember. We must work to ensure their safety, just like we try to work to ensure safety for everyone else to live freely and safely here in Baltimore. And that's the only way that we'll ever see a community thrive. Chair recognizes Councilman Burnett. Yes.
One, could you ask me as a co-sponsor, Mr. President? Sorry.
Yes, please add Councilman Burnett as a co-sponsor. Chair recognizes Councilman Burnett.
I'd like to move the resolution for immediate adoption.
We have to make a motion to suspend the rules, Councilman.
Oh, my apologies. Make a motion to suspend the rules, Mr. President, for immediate adoption.
Yes, sir. Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended. Roll call. Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Emery, Schleifer,
Yes.
Middleton, Pinkett,
Yes.
Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
Yes.
Motion is approved. This resolution has been adopted. And please note that Councilman Clark, as you just heard, has rejoined us.
City Council Resolution 20-0257R, bring the World Cup to Baltimore 2026 for the purpose of expressing the Baltimore City Council's unequivocal support for Baltimore's bid to be a World Cup host city in 2026. Sponsor, President Scott.
Please add Councilman Pinkett, Councilman Burnett, Councilwoman Clark, Councilman Henry, Councilman Cohen, Councilwoman Sneed as co-sponsors, Councilman Stokes as a co-sponsor, Councilman Reisinger as a co-sponsor. Thank you to all of my co-sponsors. We as a city, we know that having these type of sports events is something that the city has hosted in the past, not to the scale of the World Cup, but our bid to support us being a host for the 2026 World Cup will be huge for Baltimore City. The United States, Canada, and Mexico will jointly be hosting the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Baltimore is one of 17 possible host cities in the U.S. FIFA will select just 10 of these locations to serve as host cities. This is a huge opportunity for Baltimore. Our sports fans here in Baltimore are second to none. We have an amazingly rich culture, diverse history, and welcoming residents. When you think about sports in Baltimore and you think about the sport of soccer, football as they call it across the world, and how it's growing in our area. Baltimore is the perfect location for the 2026 World Cup. And selecting us will allow for Baltimore once again to be showcased for the world-class city it is, especially when it comes to world-class city, when it comes to sports and sports fans. So thank you all for your support. I am going to recognize Councilman Burnett.
I'd like to move to suspend rules for immediate adoption.
Mr. President?
Yes, Councilman Henry.
Thank you. I received an email from a constituent literally minutes before the council meeting, calling or attempting to call the council's attention to the fact that this may not be as one-sided and non-controversial as we would expect, and that there may be additional repercussions of having the World Cup here that it would seem we should at least review before offering our wholehearted support. I wanted to ask if there was any way this resolution could be sent to committee so that it could still come out on second reader before we adjourn in December, but we would at least have a chance to do a little bit of research and do our due diligence.
Mr. President?
Councilman Costello, Chair recognizes Councilman Burnett. Oh, sorry. Hey, Councilman Costello. You're on mute, Councilman Costello. Now you're good.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just point out to my colleague that this is a non-binding resolution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilman Burnett.
To
Councilman Burnett, you're back, Councilman.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I would just like to suspend the rules for immediate adoption, or move to suspend the rules for immediate adoption.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Emery, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett.
Yes.
Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello,
Yes.
Stokes, Sneed, Clark,
Yes.
The ayes have it. The motion is approved. This resolution has been adopted.
City Council Resolution 20-0258R, November as Smoking Cessation and Lung Cancer Awareness Month. For the purpose of proclaiming November as Smoking Cessation and Lung Cancer Awareness Month in Baltimore City and encouraging all residents to quit smoking and to learn about lung cancer and early detection through lung cancer screening. Sponsors, President Scott.
Correction, this is Councilman Burnett, I believe, right, Councilman? Yeah, this is Councilman Burnett. Please note Council President Scott as a co-sponsor, Councilman Reisinger, Councilman Henry, Councilman Pinkett, Councilman Clark, Councilman Stokes, Councilman Cohen as co-sponsors. Chair recognizes Councilman Burnett.
And colleagues, this is in remembrance of those that we've lost to lung disease and lung cancers as a result of smoking, which as all can.
Councilman, we lost you again.
Yeah, I think that's messing me up. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm having a bad connection. So this is in remembrance of those who've been impacted by lung cancer, as well as an attempt to encourage residents to get screened for lung cancer. Over, I want to say 90% of the folks impacted by lung cancer are individuals who smoke cigarettes or use tobacco products. And so we're just trying to encourage people to quit and get screened by their primary care provider. So of cancer and other harmful illnesses that come from smoking tobacco products. So thank you for all who supported this, and to all of the advocates who work on this issue every day, and our staff at the Baltimore City Health Department that are working tirelessly to push smoking cessation across the city of Baltimore. And with that, I'd like to suspend the rules for immediate adoption, Mr. President.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Emery,
Yes.
Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello. Stokes.
Yes.
Sneed, Clark.
And throw Bresto in there with it, too.
Thank you, thank you. The motion to approve this resolution has been adopted, and just to make sure, the co-sponsors to this resolution was, Council President, Councilman Clark, Councilman Henry, Councilman Pinkett, Councilman Reisinger, and Councilman Stokes, Councilman Cohen. Did I miss anyone? Councilman Bullock. Thank you. Thank you. The motion to approve this resolution has been adopted.
City Council Resolution 20-029R, request for state action, health equity resource communities, for the purpose of calling on the General Assembly to pass and the Governor to sign legislation creating health equity resource communities. Sponsors, President Scott.
Please add Councilman Reisinger as a co-sponsor, Councilman Pinkett, Councilwoman Clark as a co-sponsor, Councilman Henry, Councilman Burnett, Councilman Cohen, Councilman Stokes as a co-sponsor. Thank you all. We know with this resolution, what we are doing is calling on the General Assembly to pass legislation to create health equity resource communities. That this would ensure the public health for our communities that is paramount, especially now more than ever in the midst of a global health pandemic. We want to encourage and work with our colleagues in Annapolis to pass this legislation and have President Holder sign it to create health equity resource communities for the benefit of residents in our city and across the state, allowing those in the neighborhoods where the help is the most needed and organizations to apply for that funding so that we can get people the help that we need. I am now going to call on Councilman Burnett.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Yes. Councilman Burnett, did we lose you, Councilman?
Yeah, I'd like to move this within the rules for immediate adoption.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott.
Yes.
Cohen. McCray. Dorsey. Emery. Schleifer. Middleton. Pinkett. Burnett.
Yes.
Bullock. Reisinger.
Yes.
Costello. Stokes. Sneed. Clark.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion is approved. This resolution has been adopted. The consent calendar can be found in Section A of the agenda. Chair recognizes Councilman Costello. Chair recognizes Councilman Henry. The short title is Councilman.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. President, I would like to at this time move short titles for second and third reader for the remainder of the meeting.
Without objection, short titles will be read for the remainder of the meeting. Short titles will be read for the remainder of the meeting. Committee reports. We will now move to bills on second reader. Executive nominations.
0288, Mona Lisa Diallo, Member, Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 7.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes.
President, the committee held a hearing on November the 9th, 2020. I move the nomination favorable.
All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed say nay. This nomination is confirmed.
0289, Dominique Flowers, Member, Public Safety Advisory Commission, District.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes.
Move the nomination favorable.
All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
Aye.
Nomination is confirmed.
0290, Phyllis Gilmore, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 4.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes. Mr. Councilman, you are on mute. We can hear you now.
I move the nomination favorable.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
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 Say nay. This nomination is confirmed.
0291, Angela Holland, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 10.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes.
Favorable.
All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. This nomination is approved.
292, Derek Johnson, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 7.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes.
Favorable.
All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
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 Nay. This nomination is confirmed.
02893, Tiffany Jones, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 12.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes.
Favorable.
All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
Aye.
Say nay. This nomination is confirmed.
0294, Kai Overton, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 7.
Councilman Stokes.
Favorable.
All in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
Aye.
This nomination is confirmed.
EA 20-0295, Kayla Randolph, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 7.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes.
I move the nomination favorable.
All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. This nomination is confirmed.
0296, Samantha Salzman, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 5.
Yeah, Ms. Clerk, we gotta go back to Kayla Randolph, 20-0925.
EA 20-0295, Kayla Randolph, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 7.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes.
I move the nomination favorable.
All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
Aye.
Nomination has been confirmed.
0296, Samantha Salzman, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 5.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes.
Favorable.
All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
Aye.
This nomination is confirmed.
EA 20-0297, Carlton Smith, Member Public Safety Advisory Commission, District 12.
Chair recognizes Councilman Stokes. You on mute? There you go, Councilman. You're good now.
Favorable.
All those in favor of approving this nomination say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed say nay. This nomination is confirmed. Housing and Urban Affairs Committee.
0325, City Streets Closing, Air Rights Area over a portion of the public right-of-way of the 4100 block of Hillen Road.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
The committee met last Tuesday, November 10th, to consider 17 matters. I appreciate everyone's assistance. Move this bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye. All opposed say nay. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
City Council Bill 19-0362, City Streets Opening, a variable width alley located between two 10-foot alley beds bounded by Boone Street, East 22nd Street, Greenmount Avenue, and East 23rd Street.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
And also, in the previous bill, I asked to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance the bill to third reader at this meeting.
Please, let's go back to the previous bill. So Mr. Clerk will have to read the second bill again. Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry,
Yes.
Schleifer, Pinkett, Burnett, Block, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Sparks.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Thank you. The ayes have it. This bill moves to third reader tonight. Stand by for 1 second, everybody. Our clerk is having internet issues. I think all of you have worked in City Hall long enough to know that it happens in here from time to time. Are you back? Go ahead, sir.
City Council Bill 19-0363, City Streets Closing.
62.
City Council Bill 19-0362, City Streets Opening a variable width alley located between two 10-foot alleys bounded by Boone Street, East 22nd Street, Greenmount Avenue, and East 23rd Street.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorable and also like to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance the bill to third reader at this meeting.
Without objection, the rule will be suspended. The rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger, Councilman Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. The ayes have it. This will move to the third reader tonight.
19-0363, City Streets Closing a variable width alley located between two 10-foot alleys bounded by Boone Street, East 22nd Street, Greenmount Avenue, and East 23rd Street.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
I would also like to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance the bill to third reader at this meeting.
Councilman, you have to make two separate motions, actually. All those in favor of approving the bill, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Now, Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
One, to advance the bill to third reader at this meeting.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended. Roll call. Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey,
Point of order, Mr. President.
You gotta wait, Councilman. You already you spoke your vote. You gotta continue with the roll call. I'll come back to you in a second.
Yes.
Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Councilman Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello, Stokes,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Also, Mr. President, I think we lost Councilman Burnett.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, did you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. The ayes have it. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Councilman Dorsey?
Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. Continue, sir.
As 0439, franchise installation of 3 private water pipes in the bed of the 1000 block of McCullough Street.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
This is the first of 3 franchise bills. The committee passed them all favorable with amendments so we can insert the franchise fee after it's set by the Board of Estimates. It was subsequently determined there will be no fee for these bills, and we're moving the bill favorable.
You have amendments to this bill, Councilman?
Yes, so again, the technical amendments.
Yeah, move the amendment.
Yes, I move the bill favorable. I move the amendments.
All those in favor of approving the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Amendments are approved. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock. You're muted, Councilman. You're good now.
Yes, I'd like to move the bill favorable as amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
15-0458, franchise light pole based within the right-of-way of Quad Avenue and Interstate 95.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, I'd like to move the technical amendment.
All those in favor of approving the amendment, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. All right, amendments are approved. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to move the bill favorable as amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
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 Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
0501,
Mr. President, point of order, do we have to do 12-1 on that last bill?
We did not, the councilman did not move for 12 on the last bill.
This is for, no, we didn't have to use for the last one. Thanks for pointing that out.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman. Mr. Kirk, you may continue.
0501, city streets closing, air rights over a portion of the public right-of-way of Rogers Kelly.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Chair recognizes Councilman Henry. Sorry, I didn't see your hand just now.
I have to recuse myself on this bill, so I'm abstaining.
Please note, Councilman Henry as an abstention. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance this bill to third reader of this meeting.
Without objection, we will suspend the rules to advance this bill to third reader tonight. Roll call. Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Risinger, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
Yes.
Thank you. This bill will move to third reader tonight.
City Council Bill 20-0523, City Streets Closing a portion of West 24th Street.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. This motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance this bill to third reader at this meeting.
Without objection, the rules should be suspended. Rules are suspended. Roll call. Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Emery, Slifer,
Yes.
Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Risinger, Costello, Stokes,
Yes.
Sneed, Clark.
To third reader tonight.
Zero 0565 renewal Middle East Amendment.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. There are amendments in your boxes, and I move the amendment favorable.
All those in favor of approving the amendment say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Amendments are approved. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Move the bill favorable as amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion approved. This bill moves to third reader.
20-0573 franchise electric vehicle charging stations.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the final of the three franchise bills previously mentioned. I move the bill favorable.
All those, we have amendments to this one, Councilman.
First I can move the amendments.
All those in favor of approving the amendment say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Amendments are approved. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorable as amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
Council Bill 20-0574 city streets opening a 13-foot alley.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye. All opposed say nay. This motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
I move to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance this bill to third reader at this meeting.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. Rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Emery, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Black, Rosinger,
Yes.
Costello, Stokes,
Yes.
Sneed, Clark.
Yes.
Thank you. The ayes have it. This bill will move to third reader tonight.
Dash 0575, city streets closing a 13-foot alley and a 20-foot alley.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance this bill to third reader at this meeting.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. The rules are suspended. Roll call. Yes.
Cohen. McCray. Henry.
You got to go back to Councilman Dorsey. You skipped him.
I'm sorry. Schleifer. Middleton. Pinkett. Burnett. Bullock.
Yes.
Reisinger.
Yes.
Costello. Stokes. Sneed. Clark.
Yes.
Motion is approved. This will move to third reader tonight.
City Council Bill 20-0577, city streets opening 10-foot alley.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
President, I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye. Okay. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance this bill to third reader at this meeting.
By objection, the rules will be suspended. Rules are suspended. Roll call. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Dorsey. Councilman Dorsey.
Yes.
Middleton. Pinkett. Burnett.
Yes.
Bullock. Reisinger.
Yes.
Costello. Stokes.
Yes.
Sneed.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Motion is approved. This bill will go to third reader tonight.
Dash 0578, city streets closing 10-foot alley.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance this bill to third reader at this meeting.
By objection, the rule will be suspended. Rules are suspended. Roll call. Yes.
Cohen. McCray. Dorsey.
President, I'm going to raise my point of order now. Just as a curiosity, by asking for the rules to be suspended and then stating without objection the rules are suspended, I believe that is the motion on which we are now redundantly taking a vote. But I will vote yes anyway.
Emery.
Yes.
Schleifer. Middleton. Pinkett. Burnett. Councilman Bullock. Costello. I'm sorry, Reisinger.
Reisinger, yes.
Costello.
Point of order, certainly defer to your judgment, sir. but I have to believe he's right. In the meantime, as we go through this monotonous exercise, I'm going to look it up in the council rules. My vote is yes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Stokes? Councilwoman Sneed? Clark?
It was the third reader tonight, and for the new parliamentarian caucus of the council, there are two separate votes. One vote is to suspend the rules, then the vote to move the bill, which is what we were advised to do by the parliamentarian. So thank you all for your time.
I appreciate it.
This bill moves to third reader tonight. Sorry, Mr. Clerk.
Okay. City Council Bill 3-0592, Office to End Homelessness, Establishment, Administration, and Permanent Housing Voucher Program.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. There are amendments in your boxes, and I move the amendments.
All those in favor of approving the amendment, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. The amendments are approved. Before I go back to you, Councilman Bullock, Councilman Dorsey, since we're going to be hopefully double reading this, would you like to make your remarks now?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just really want to thank the President's office and the chair of the committee and the committee members for working through this bill with me. We were able to have an expedient voting session on the bill after what I felt was a thorough hearing on the bill in the first hearing. I did a lot of work with the law department to get these amendments straightened out. So I want to thank the law department for reviewing this kind of over and over again with me to make sure that it met their satisfaction for legal sufficiency, and allowing me to clarify the intent of the bill for them. And thank DLR, always Tony, for doing such a great job at working through these amendments with me. This is one of quite a few lengthy and complex bills that I've had the privilege of working on this term, and getting a big package of amendments together like this in a fairly quick turnaround time is it's no small feat for everybody that's involved. And so I just want to thank everybody. I think that this bill is really important. As I said, I probably during the hearing and on first reader, I think it's important that we have agencies like that which will provide homeless services in the city. I think it's important for them to be established with continuity and ensuring that there is at least a modicum of kind of a checks and balances between the branches of government. And I think it's important that this bill will create a structure where, like any other city agency, a director will be nominated by the mayor and confirmed by the city council. And so I think that it's really important that we're making this structural change to better establish our footing for addressing homelessness and homeless services for the future of the city. And I look forward to during the next administration the work to develop the housing voucher program portion of this at the same time as we bring in new MOH staff, new staff for the Office to End Homelessness. So I really want to thank you, Mr. President, for your assistance, Kaylin, Michael, and everybody else that's done so much work on this. Thank you to Chairman Bullock and all the advocates. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Councilman. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Rule is amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
All say nay. Motion approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that vote Rule 12-1 to advance this bill to third reader at this meeting.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended.
President,
The rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton,
Yes.
Pinkett, Burnett, Block, Reisinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
Yes.
Have it. This will move to third reader tonight.
City Council Bill 20-0610, repeal Reisterstown Plaza Transit Station Urban Renewal Area and Plan.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
City Council Bill 20-0625, landlord tenant right to counsel in eviction cases.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Thank you, Mr. President. There are amendments in your boxes, and I move the amendment favorable.
All those in favor of approving the amendment, say aye.
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 Amendments are approved. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
Mr. President, I move the bill favorable as amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
I move the bill favorable as amended. And would like to,
Invoke 12-1.
I'd like to move the bill,
You on, Councilman, you on mute.
okay, hopefully you can hear me now. Yes, I move to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance the bill to third reader of this meeting.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. Rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer,
Yes.
Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett,
Yes.
Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill will move to third reader today.
City Council Resolution 20-0250, R, paying DPW workers what they deserve.
Chair recognizes Councilman Bullock.
I move the resolution favorable.
All those in favor of approving this resolution, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. The motion is approved. This resolution is adopted. Labor Committee. Thank you, Councilman Bullock.
City Council 18-081, banning discrimination based on hair and protective hairstyles.
Chair recognizes Councilwoman Sneed.
Thank you. The Labor Committee had held a hearing banning discrimination based on hair texture and protective hairstyles. The bill came out of the committee on November the 12th, 2020. I'm going to refer to Councilmember Robert Stokes. so he can tell us about the amendment.
Chair
Thank you,
recognizes Councilman Stokes.
A copy of the full amendments was sent to all the council members electronic. It includes language that defines protective hairstyles and race. I move the full amendment.
All those in favor of approving the amendment say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Amendment is approved. Chair recognizes Councilwoman Sneed.
I move the bill favorable as amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. All right, motion is approved. This bill moves to third reading. Land Use Committee.
15-0453, rezoning 3127 East Baltimore Street.
Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Yes, I had some difficulty. Thank you. Mr. President, I want to move the findings of facts for the bill.
Yep, without objection, the findings of fact will be adopted. The findings of fact are adopted. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
Okay. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
I want to invoke 12-1 for advancement for same day, second reader for third reader.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. Rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer,
Yes.
Middleton,
Yes.
Pinkett,
One second, you guys. Clerk is having internet problems again. Mr. Clerk, start over at Burnett, please.
yes, sir. Councilman Burnett,
Yes.
Bullock, Reisinger, Costello, Stokes,
Yes.
Sneed, Clark.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman. The ayes have it. This bill moves to third reader today.
City Council Bill 20-0572, rezoning 1301 North Fulton Avenue.
Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the bill, I want to move the findings of facts.
Without objection, findings of fact will be adopted. The findings of fact are adopted. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion is approved. This bill is approved. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I need to invoke Rule 12-1 for advancement for same day from second reading to third reading.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. Rules suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello, Stokes, Sneed,
Yes.
Clark. Councilwoman Clark.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear my name. Yes.
This bill moves to third reader today.
City Council Bill 20-0609, rezoning 4207 through 4209 Menlo Drive.
Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the finding of facts.
Without objection, the findings of fact will be adopted. Findings of fact are adopted. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I vote 12-1 for same-day advancement from second to third reading.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. Rules suspended. Roll call.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Cohen? McCray? Dorsey? Emery? Schleifer? Middleton? Pinkett? Burnett?
Yes.
Bullock? Reisinger?
Yes.
Costello is a yes. Stokes? Sneed? Clark? Councilwoman Clark?
Yes.
The ayes have it. This bill moves to third reader today.
City Council Bill 20-0617, zoning, conditional use conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to a two dwelling units in the R8 zoning district, variances 1801 Highland Street.
Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the finding of facts.
Without objection, the finding of facts will be adopted. Findings of facts are adopted. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger. You on mute, Councilman? Oh, you're good now. You're good.
Okay, I invoke Rule 12-1 for advancement the same day from second reader to third reader.
Without objection, the rule will be suspended. Rules are suspended. Roll call.
Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Cohen? McCray? Dorsey? Emery? Schleifer? Middleton? Pinkett? Burnett? Bullock? Reisinger?
Yes.
Costello is a yes. Stokes? Sneed? Okay.
Have it. This bill moves to third reader today.
City Council Bill 20-0618, rezoning 1220 through 1222 West.
Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Okay, Mr. President, I move the finding of facts.
Without objection, the findings of fact will be adopted. The findings of fact are adopted. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
Nay. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
I invoke 12-1 for same-day advancement from second to third reader, Mr. President.
Without objection, the rule will be suspended. Rule suspended. Roll call.
President Scott?
Yes.
Cohen? McCray? Dorsey? Emery? Schleifer? Middleton? Pinkett? Burnett?
Yes.
Bullock? Reisinger?
Yes.
Costello is a yes. Stokes? Sneed? Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Ayes have it, this bill moves to third reader today.
City Council Bill 20-0619, rezoning 1900, 1904, 1910, and 1916 Light Street.
Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, read the finding of facts.
Without objection, the findings of fact will be adopted. Findings of fact are adopted. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, read the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reading. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Dash 1 for advancement for same day from second to third reader, Mr. President.
Without objection, the rules will be suspended. Rules are suspended. Roll call. C.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Emery, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett,
Yes.
Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello is a yes. Stokes, Sneed, Councilwoman Clark.
Yes.
Thank you. The ayes have it in multiple languages. This bill moves to third reader today.
City Council Bill 20-0621, 2 East Wells Street.
Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the finding of facts.
Without objection, the findings of fact will be adopted. Findings of fact are adopted. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, this bill has amendments. I move the amendments.
All those in favor of approving the amendment say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. The amendments are approved. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Was amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I invoke Rule 12-1 for same day advancement from second to third reader.
Without objection, the rule will be suspended. Rule is suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey,
Yes.
Schleifer,
Yes.
Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello is a yes. Stokes, Sneed, Councilwoman Clark.
Yes.
Ayes have it. This bill moves to third reader today.
That's 0622, rezoning 1312, 1314, 1316, and 1318 East 4th Avenue.
Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the finding of facts.
Without objection, the findings of fact will be adopted. Findings of fact are adopted. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
12-1 for advancement for same day from second to third reader.
Without objection, the rule will be suspended. Rule suspended. Roll call.
And Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray,
Yes.
Dorsey, Emery, Schleifer,
Yes.
Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger, Costello is a yes. Stokes, Sneed, Councilwoman Sneed,
Yes.
Councilwoman
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Ayes have it. This bill moves to third reader today.
City Council Bill 20-0624, Baltimore City Critical Area Management Program, conforming certain provisions to new state mandates.
Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, on this bill, we had a hearing, and the planning department had amendments. And I think all my colleagues got an email from Mr. Eric Tito from planning that those amendments weren't needed. They were committee amendments, so I'd like to move amendments, but I asked my colleagues to vote unfavorable. No.
All those in favor of approving the amendment say aye. All opposed say nay.
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 Please note that the amendments failed. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, I move the bill favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Councilman Reisinger.
President, I invoke 12-1 for advancement for same date from second reader to third reader.
By rejection, the rule will be suspended. Rule suspended. Roll call. Yes.
Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello is a yes. Stokes, Sneed, Councilwoman Clark.
Yes.
The ayes have it. This bill moves to third reader today. Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Councilman Reisinger. Taxation, Finance, and Economic Development Committee.
City Council Bill 20-7, sale of property, former bed of a 13-foot alley.
Recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
Thank you, Mr. President. Excuse me, this bill came out of committee on November 12th, 2020. Someone has their,
Council Vice President, hold on for 1 second. Councilwoman Clark, can you mute if you feedback?
Oh, my gosh, it's the first time it's stayed on, and I'll take it off.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Go continue, Council Vice President.
okay, thank you. This bill came out of committee on November 12th, 2020, on behalf of the Council President for the administration. The committee approved the bill as favorable. I move the bill as favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
Council Bill 579, sale of property, former bed of 10-foot alley.
Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
President, this bill came out of the committee on November 12th, 2020. The sponsor was the Council President. On behalf of the administration, the committee approved the bill as favorable. I move the bill favorable as amended.
Oh, we have to approve the amendments first, Council Vice President.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the amendments.
All those in favor of approving the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The amendments are approved. Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
I move the bill favorable as amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
Bill 20-0585, sale of property, Lake Clifton Senior High School, number 40.
Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill came out of the committee on November 12, 2020. The sponsor was the council president. On behalf of the administration, the committee approved the bill as favorable. I move the bill as favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
Council 0585, sale of property, Lake.
Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill came out of committee also on November 12, 2020. The sponsor was the council president. On behalf of the administration, the committee approved the bill as favorable. I move the bill as favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader.
-0602, sale of property, 4701 Green Spring Avenue, aka former Dr. Roland Patterson School, number 82.
Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
This bill came out of the committee on November 12, 2020. Sponsor the council president. On behalf of the administration, the committee approved the bill as favorable. I move the bill as favorable.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
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 Aye. The motion is approved. This bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I'd like to make a motion to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance the third reader on the same day.
Without objection, the rule will be suspended. The rule is suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, Dorsey, Henry,
Yes.
Schleifer, Middleton,
Yes.
Pinkett, Burnett,
Yes.
Block, Reisinger,
What, yeah?
Costello is a yes. Stokes, Sneed,
Yes.
Yes.
Have it. That bill will move to third reader today.
City Council Bill 20-0626, Water Accountability and Equity Act modifications.
Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill also came out of committee on November 12, 2020, sponsored President Scott. The committee approved the bill as favorable with amendments. The amendments were sent to council members electronically. I move the committee amendments.
All those in favor of approving the amendment, say aye.
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 The amendments are approved. Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
Thank you, and I move the bill favorable as amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The motion is approved. Chair recognizes the bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance the third reader on the same day.
Without objection, the rule will be suspended. The rule is suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen, McCray,
Yes.
Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett,
Yes.
Bullock, Reisinger, Costello is a yes. Stokes, Sneed, Councilwoman Clark.
Yes.
This bill moves to third reader today.
City Council Bill 20-0631, excise tax, electronic smoking devices.
Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill came out of committee on November 12, 2020, sponsored President Scott. The committee approved the bill as favorable with amendments. The amendments went to council members electronically. I move the committee amendments.
All those in favor of approving the amendment say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All opposed say nay. Motion is approved. Minutes are approved. Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I move the bill favorable as amended.
All those in favor of approving this bill say aye.
Aye.
No, Councilman Seifel as a no.
Can I also explain my vote, or is it too late?
You might, yeah, you can do it later if you want, but I'm trying to move us along here, Councilman. Chair the motion is approved. Bill moves to third reader. Chair recognizes Council Vice President Middleton.
And I'd like to make a motion to invoke Rule 12-1 to advance the third reader on the same day.
Upon objection, the rules will be suspended. Rules are suspended. Roll call.
President Scott,
Yes.
Cohen,
Yes.
McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton,
Yes, yes.
Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger,
Yes.
Costello is a yes. Stokes, Sneed,
Yes.
Thank you. Ayes have it. This bill moves to third reader today. Thank you, Madam Council Vice President.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Third reader, inquiry and invocation of City Council Rule 12-1 for same day advance.
City Council Bill 19-0325, City Streets Closing Air Rights Area over a portion of the public right-of-way of the 4100 block of Hillen Road. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 19-0362, City Streets Opening a Variable Width Alley located between two 10-foot alleys bounded by Boone Street, East 22nd Street, Greenmount Avenue, and East 23rd Street. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 19-0363, City Streets Closing a Variable Width Alley located between two 10-foot alleys bounded by Boone Street, East 22nd Street, Greenmount Avenue, and East 23rd Street. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 19-0453, rezoning 3127 East Baltimore Street. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Schleifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Reisinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0501, City Streets Closing Air Rights over a portion of the public right-of-way of Rogers Alley, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett.
Please note Councilman Henry is an abstention. Continue.
Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0523, City Streets Closing a portion of West 24th Street, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0572, rezoning 1301 North Fulton Avenue, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0574, City Streets Opening a 13-foot alley, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0575, City Streets Closing a 13-foot alley and a 20-foot alley, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0577, City Streets Opening 10-foot alley, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0578, City Streets Closing 10-foot alley, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0592, Office to End Homelessness, Establishment, Administration, and Permanent Housing Voucher Program, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0602, Sale of Property, 4701 Green Spring Avenue, aka former Dr. Roland Patterson School, number 82. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0609, rezoning 4207 through 4209 Menlo Drive, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0617, zoning conditional use conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to a two dwelling units in the R8 zoning district, variances 1801 Highland Street. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0618, rezoning 220 through 1222 West North Avenue. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0619, rezoning 1900, 1904, 1910, and 1916 Light Street. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0621, rezoning 2 East Wells Street. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved. Mr. Clerk, if you can hear me, we lost you again. One second, everybody. Mr. Clerk, are you back? You good? Restart the next bill because we lost you.
City Council Bill 20-0619, rezoning 1900, 1904, 1910, and 1916 Light Street.
We heard that one. I think you had done, I thought you were on 2-2.
Yes.
Yeah.
City Council Bill 20-0622, rezoning 1312, 1314, 1316, and 1318 East Fort Avenue. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0624, Baltimore City Critical Area Management Program, conforming certain provisions to new state mandates. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0625, landlord-tenant right to counsel in eviction cases. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosinger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0626, Water Accountability and Equity Act modifications. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosner, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0631, Excise Tax, Electronic Smoking Devices. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosner, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved. Third reader for final passage.
City Council Bill 19-0353, Charter Amendment, Underground Conduit System, Sale, Transfer, or Franchise Prohibited. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosner, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 19-0428, Human Trafficking Notice Requirements, City-Owned and Occupied Buildings. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 19-0442, Legislation, Equity, Assessment, and Fiscal Note Requirement. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 19-0447, Urban Renewal, Hamden Business Area Amendment. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0490, Urban Renewal, Carroll, Camden, Redesignation and Urban Renewal Plan. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0508, Rezoning 5401 Pulaski Highway. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0553, Urban Renewal, Washington Village Amendment. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0558, City Officers and Employees Commuting Benefits. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council 20-0565, Urban Renewal, Park Heights Amendment. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0566, rezoning 3215 West Belvedere Avenue, 3317 through 3323 West Belvedere Avenue, 5101 through 5103 Denmore Avenue, 5100 Denmore Avenue, and Block 4580, Lot 038 and 039 through 055. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0567, rezoning 407 Benninghouse Road. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0568, Plan Unit Development Amendment, Stadium Place. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0569, Street Harassment Advisory Commission. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0595, rezoning 1103 through 1109 North Washington Street. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0603, Retirement Savings Plan, clarifications. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
Council Bill 20-0604, Retirement Systems, minor child clarification. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0614, rezoning 4015 Foster Avenue, 4000 Hudson Street, and 801 South Haven Street. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0628, City Property, naming of a pavilion in a nature park in the Joseph H. Rash Playfield to be the BGE Pavilion in the BGE Nature Park. President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Henry, Slifer, Middleton, Pinkett, Burnett, Bullock, Rosiger, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This bill is approved.
City Council Bill 20-0630, Building, Fire, and Related Code, Adoption of International Green Construction Code 2018, President Scott, Cohen, McCray, Dorsey, Hampton, Spicer, Middleton, Pinkett, Bullock, Rosler, Costello, Stokes, Sneed, Clark.
This is approved. Thank you. Thank you. Committee announcements. Chair, when I call your committee, please proceed with your committee announcements and feel free to do multiple at the same time if you have more than one committee. Transportation Committee, Councilman Dorsey.
Nothing, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Taxation, Finance, and Economic Development, Madam Vice President.
No committee announcements.
Public Safety, Councilman Schleifer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Land Use, Councilman Reisinger.
Mr. President, the Land Use Committee will hold a hearing on Wednesday, December 2nd at 1:20 p.m. on Bill 20-0611, to zoning conditional use conversion of a single-family dwelling unit to a two-dwelling unit in the R7 zoning district with variances located at 10 Oregon Drive. This hearing is being rescheduled for November the 9th. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Legislative Investigations, Councilman Burnett.
I don't have anything for legislative investigation, Mr. President, but I do have a Health Committee announcement.
Yep, go ahead.
The Health Committee will be holding a legislative oversight hearing on 20-008, I'm sorry, 20-0088 on Tuesday, December 1st, 2020 at 10 a.m. It'll be a virtual informational hearing at the request of the Baltimore City Health Department to roll out their flu vaccination plan. The purpose, inviting representatives for the Baltimore City Health Department to provide updates on the department's flu plan as we move into the winter months. That's all, Mr. President.
Thank you. Labor Committee, Councilman Sneed.
For the Labor Committee, thank you.
Judiciary, Councilman Costello.
Announcements, Mr. President. Thank you.
All right. Housing and Urban Affairs, Councilman Bullock. All right. Executive Appointments, Councilman Stokes.
The Executive Appointments Committee will hold a hearing on Wednesday, December the 2nd, and it's virtual, 2020 at 10 a.m. to review the following nominations: Baltimore City Citizens Advisory Commission for Public Safety, and that person is Tyler Adamson, member of the 14th District, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Councilman. Equity and Structure, Councilman Henry.
I'm just reminding our viewers at home that the Equity and Structure Committee will be meeting this Friday at 10 a.m. to hear City Council Bill 20-0218R, recognizing systemic racism as a public health crisis.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman. Education and Youth, Councilman Cohen.
Mr. President.
Thank you. Regular announcements. I will start by first asking Council Vice President Middleton to honor a moment of silence for my grandmother, Florence Solomon, who we lost last Wednesday. My grandmother was a long time resident of Park Heights in the 6th District, as the Council Vice President very well knows. There's so many things that I could say about my grandmother, but I will say that she was known as a woman of small stature, but larger-than-life personality. She walked into any room, she definitely demanded to be the center of attention. She, of course, she was a mother of 2, grandmother of 4 boys, and great-grandmother of 6. So my grandmother lived a wonderful life. We had her for 79 wonderful years. She worked for 40 years as a secretary at Sears and Roebuck when it was on 41st Street, Councilwoman Clark, down in the hole. I know you'll remember that. And she also worked at Goodwill after she retired and unretired because she didn't want to sit at home. I want to thank everyone for their well wishes for me and my family. There is not I would not be sitting in this chair if it were not for the chance that my grandmother took right after having my mom and moving here to Baltimore from Amelia County, Virginia, and all the things that my grandmother instilled in me and my brothers and my mom and my aunt and my parents. And she treated my dad just like he was her son from the time he visited here from North Carolina as a teenager. I would not be sitting here. I owe everything to the foundation that my grandmother set. So each and every day, as I always have, I will work hard to make sure that she continues to be very proud of me. I also want to ask for a moment of silence for the now 292 victims of homicide that we've lost in the city of Baltimore, in addition to all of those that we've lost through COVID-19 and the continuing overdose epidemic as well. Regular announcements, anyone else? Councilwoman Sneed?
I can't believe we're down to our last hearing after this, so I can't wait till next week when I wish everyone well, but I just am saying, oh my goodness, we finally are down to the wire for this term for council. So that's all.
Thank you. Councilwoman Clark?
Thank you, Mr. President, members. I just want to wish everyone here a happy Thanksgiving. And in the mood for it, I began to think about this family of mine and ours and all the wonderful times I've had here. I know this is not our last meeting, but it's Thanksgiving time. And I just want to tell you that never in all my many thousands of years of being in city council have I served with a finer council than this group is and has been in so many ways. So I wish you and all the people in the city of Baltimore a happy Thanksgiving, and God bless you, my president, in all that you've said and always been to your grandmother. We bubbies and grandmothers, we love our children, but do we really love our grandchildren? Because they finally are the perfect ones we've been looking for. Thank you all. God bless us all.
Absolutely, Councilwoman. Absolutely. Councilman Dorsey?
I was going to bring this up during the luncheon earlier, and in large, I'm sorry, Councilman Clark, can you okay.
Can I just say,
Councilwoman,
so we can't hear.
You're muted, Councilwoman.
myself for a moment. I apologize to my colleague. I've spent weeks and weeks being turned off and lurching to turn on to vote, but tonight it wouldn't turn off, and I think it's part of Thanksgiving. And I apologize for it, but it certainly was thrilling. Thank you.
Councilman Dorsey.
Thank you. I'll come back to my point in a second, but I just, since Thanksgiving has been brought up, I just want to urge everybody to stay home. Do not travel. Don't have family gatherings. None of it. I don't want none of it. I don't want to see my neighbors doing it. I don't want to hear people talking about it. I don't want it. Stay home. Cook your own whatever. I'm making ramen. That's what I'm doing. Look, I just, maybe that's a moot point because there's been some news shared about it, and the mayor's office sent us a note to say that it was not going to be a concern. But, you know, there's still signs up under 83 at the homeless encampment. There are still signs up right now that indicate that the homeless encampment there is going to be cleared on Wednesday. And that's disturbing because there are people who are living there. That's their home. And they have no alternative to that except to be, you know, summarily displaced to, you know, random other locations where they will have lesser access to service. And and where our service providers can not do as well to serve them. That signage is still up, and as long as it's up, it has the effect of inciting fear and anxiety in those residents that their housing is about to be stripped away from them, and has the effect in and of itself, just the signs being there, of displacing people. There are already people who are leaving just because the signs are up, despite the fact that the mayor's office maintains that they are not going to clear the area. I appreciate the mayor's office deciding not to clear the area. I can't, for the life of me, understand why it was even being considered in the first place. But now that they've made a declaration that they're not going to do it, they really need to go and remove these signs as soon as possible, because tomorrow is the last day before Wednesday. And we don't want people in fear leaving tomorrow because they believe, as the signs indicate, that they're going to be cleared out of there. So I just really want to urge everybody to reach out and and ask that the mayor's office have those signs removed as expeditiously as possible. And that's all from me, Mr. Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Dorsey. Councilman Cohen?
And again, condolences, and echo what my colleague just said, especially as it relates to the pandemic, which we know is surging all over the place. Did want to thank my colleague, Councilman Schleifer, who we were able to get Mayor Young to finally agree to increase wages and not have any more temporary seasonal maintenance workers at sanitation and DPW, moving salaries from $11 an hour to at least $16.78 an hour with health care and benefits. The way we treat people who pick up our trash matters, and paying poverty wages to these essential workers was simply unacceptable. So we are really glad that Mayor Young acted on that request, and appreciate all the advocacy from this council as well.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, before I call on the council vice president, I just want to again remind everyone that we are still in a pandemic and it's nowhere near over. Wear a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask, wear a mask. I'll make sure, as was said earlier, that we are not having large gatherings. We know it's the holidays. Make sure that you're treating your family the right way, doing Zoom with them, calling them on the phone, FaceTime, WhatsApp, Duo, whatever you have to do, but do not gather in large numbers. Do not think that it's party time. It's not the time to be out going having large parties and trying to be around a bunch of people who you do not live with or not in constant contact with consistently. This is not a game. We do not want to be where we were in the beginning of this pandemic in the coming weeks. And if we continue to have folks back as reckless as they have been, that's exactly where we're going to be. I just want us to make sure that we continue to take this very seriously. To recognize as Council Vice President Miller.
Mr. President, and just to add to that we do have, no one in the city should go hungry. We have food giveaways everywhere around the city, and any resident can contact any of the council members, and I'm sure they can give you a location of where to get food if you need food. So please take heed and social distance, and just spend time with your immediate family this year. It is a matter of life and death. And on that note, the next meeting of the City Council will be held on December 7th at 5 p.m. virtually And may we have a moment of silence for Mayor-elect Brandon Scott and his family for the passing of his grandmother, Florence Solomon, and also for the continued opioid epidemic that we have, and also the pandemic, and also for the now 292 families that have suffered from homicides.
Thank you. There being no further business, this concludes the 95th meeting of the 72nd term of the Baltimore City Council.